At Manhattan University, a graduate degree is not out of reach. You'll gain real-world skills, credentials employers value, and connections to New York City's top companies. Choose from their new Master of Science degrees in healthcare informatics, digital marketing and analytics, business analytics, or financial analytics, all built around hands-on learning and industry partnerships. Graduate ready to lead, not just work. Take the next step at manhattan.edu/graduate. Manhattan University. Lead the future.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
It's Friday night, everybody, and I'm sure you were glued to the GLAAD Awards, GLAAD, last night. Of course you weren't. Who watches these things anymore because of who they give awards to? And in this case, Jennifer Welsh. For those of you who are on social media, you know who this cretin is. I don't use that word for any human on the planet, but for Jen, I'm going to make an exception here because she is profoundly horrible in every way, shape, or form. And I'm trying to figure out whether it's an act or she really believes what she says. And I'm coming down on she really believes what she says. This is your ultimate wine mom who has had more work, we'll put it that way, than Joan Rivers can ever dream of. And forget like the aesthetics here for a second, because that would be distracting from the main point. The things she says on the air are just so profoundly subhuman. And it gets her attention and gets her awards at places like this, I suppose. But here she is last night. This is her award speech, and you would not know the difference between Jennifer Welsh and, say, Robert De Niro. This is cut number 5. Go.
And I want to say something with my full chest. Never obey in advance. ICE, Donald Trump, free Palestine, and save trans kids.
Now, I don't know what's worse. Welsh saying, F Trump, free Palestine, and free trans kids. She kind of looks like one. But the people hooting and hollering to this, like, woo, yeah. Oh, I get it's probably in Los Angeles or somewhere near there, but still. Jennifer Welsh has said some things in the past, and this is where I get to this point. All right, she makes one stupid speech. You never heard of her before. All right, that's one thing. This is a daily thing, and she actually has on everybody from Abby Phillip from CNN and Caitlin Collins from CNN and all these people, Katie Couric, all these people that pretend to be journalists, and they actually give this person an audience. Here's what she had to say about Erica Kirk, who, between Candace Owens and this person, as far as attacking Erica Kirk, these are obviously people that don't have children or children disown them. I don't know what Jennifer Welsh's situation is. She never talks about her kids, so I'm assuming that this is your typical wine mom without actually being a mom. And then what Candace Owens has been saying about Erica Kirk is just disqualifying in terms of ever. Let's put it this way. I'm writing a book right now. I've written 3 books already. Last one, The Greatest Comeback Ever Inside Trump's Big Beautiful Campaign. I'm burdened by what has been. A New York Times bestseller. Great. Awesome. The president endorsed it on several occasions. I got to sit down with the president, went to Mar-a-Lago, all those fun things. And that was a great book to write. This one I'm writing now is called The 99 Most Toxic Americans That We Could Really, 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 Really Do Without. All those reallys will be on the cover. And Candace Owens absolutely made the list, and Jennifer Welsh absolutely made the list because of what they've been saying about Erica Kirk, who, again, you see that clip from Charlie from last summer, and he was guest hosting Fox and Friends Weekend. And the first thing that happens once 10 o'clock comes, that's when the show ends. It's a 4-hour show. His 2 kids, who I think are 2 and 3 years old, run to their dad, and he gives them a hug. And he just looks as happy as you ever can be, because once you have kids that age and you're the hero, and you're a hero for a long time. My kids are still 12 and 10. I'm pretty sure I'm still the hero. It's wavering. It's teetering a little bit, but just to see that look in his face and know that these poor kids will never see their dad again on this earth. And Erica Kirk having to deal with all of this, and to attack a woman that has to go through this, the way she has conducted herself with such bravery, such courage, such conviction, in saying that she actually forgives, for instance, the assassin. I can never get there. She did. And a Jennifer Welsh is actually mocking her. And even after he was executed at Utah Valley University, September 10th of last year, here you have Jennifer Welsh still saying this about Erica and Charlie. And this person, again, is subhuman. Cut number 24. Go.
It's wild. This woman should be kicked to the curb. She is an absolute grifter, just like Donald Trump and just like her unrepentant, racist, homophobic husband was.
Again, this person got an award last night for crap like that. And I'm just going to leave it there. That the fact that we glorify that the more provocative you are, whether you're Jasmine Crockett or AOC or Don Lemon or all these people, that actually Don Lemon got like a Walter Cronkite Truth Award not too long ago. So I guess what I'm trying to say here, the main premise is that these awards are beyond worthless. And thankfully, no one watches this stuff. But I guess we're talking about it here, so maybe they accomplished their goal. Don't know. Anyway, as far as Kristi Noem and the firing of Noem, when you look at the weakest link in the Trump administration, it's probably Kristi Noem, or was, I should say. Because while you could look at her track record and say, well, look at the border, Conch. Look at the fact that we have almost zero crossings at this point, when 12 to 15 million people crossed under Biden. If you're the DHS secretary, you deserve credit for that. I just wonder if it's how do I put this? If I had to use a sports analogy, do I go Phil Jackson here? Yeah, I'm going Phil Jackson. All right. For those of you who follow the NBA, or you don't even have to follow it closely. Phil Jackson was the coach of the Chicago Bulls, and he had Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and they won 6 championships with Jackson as the coach. And you wonder, if Phil Jackson isn't the coach, does Michael Jordan still win those championships? I come down on, yeah. I mean, did Michael really need all that much coaching? Now, you got to bring all these players together, these egos. I get it completely. And they didn't win until Phil Jackson got there. And then he goes to the Lakers, and he inherits, just as the top 2 players, Shaq, Kobe Bryant, playing together in their prime. And he wins 4 more championships there. So Phil Jackson, former Knick, gets to 10 championships. And you say, again, would they have won without Phil Jackson? Or is it the fact that it was Shaq and Kobe and Scottie and Michael? Yeah. All right. So that's why I relate this to Kristi Noem, because, again, does the border still have 0 crossings, or at least 0 illegals being released into the country under any other DHS secretary? Yeah, probably. Yeah, because Trump is the president. Trump is the one that ultimately is running the show. It was Trump's rhetoric and Trump's actions that made it quite easy for a Kristi Noem to look good in this situation. Now, she apparently had plenty of, not apparently, why am I saying apparently? She did. She said some things that were profoundly false, and particularly with Alex Preddy. Now, look, again, I'll explain my position on Alex Preddy. Who's Alex Preddy? He's the guy in Minneapolis, fully armed, approached ICE agents on multiple occasions while packing. All right? Semi-automatic on his person. And during ICE operations, confronting ICE agents. He was begging for something like this to happen. You can say, oh, Joe, so you believe that if you have the right to carry, that person should just be shot in cold blood? No, of course not. But if you confront ICE enough, and then there is a physical confrontation and somebody yells gun, and there's a gun on the person, there's a good chance that person will be shot. So I'm not going to defend his actions in any way, shape, or form. All that said, when Preddy was shot, Noem got in front of the cameras a little too quickly, and before having all the facts, said that Preddy was brandishing a gun before ICE agents. In other words, basically pointing it at them, so they had to respond. So you hear this from the DHS secretary, and I was on live that night. You take her at her word because she is the head of Department of Homeland Security. Turns out that was not right. That was not correct. But it gets worse with Noem as far as what else she had done while she was DHS secretary. Cut number 23 here, Elias. This is Now, this isn't a Democratic senator. This is Senator John Kennedy, Republican Louisiana, who definitely had his reservations about Noem. And here he explains exactly why she got ousted just yesterday, Thursday, by President Trump, the first major cabinet member to be fired by the guy who used to fire people an awful lot. This is cut number 23. Go.
Later that day, I got a call from President Trump. He was mad as a mama wasp.
That's Trump.
He said, Kennedy, I hope you understand that I had nothing to do with this. And I said, well, I do believe you, Mr. President. He was not happy. It was clear to me after that conversation that the secretary's time at the department was limited. That to be blunt, she was dead as fried chicken.
That is fried chicken. And what Kennedy is referring to is that Noem went ahead and purchased $225,000 of ads with her starring in it, and then said that Trump approved it, and Trump didn't approve it. And that's why Trump said, I had nothing to do with this. So when you start lying about your boss, especially when it's President Trump, well, that's not going to go well for you. And that's why she's out now. Markwayne Mullin is in. He's a Republican Oklahoma senator. And this guy's a former MMA fighter. Yeah, that's the kind of guy I want running DHS, certainly. And he's been great in interviews. And Trump watches a lot of cable news. He does a lot of things. He works hard, but you can multitask. I remember when I was on the Trump plane during the campaign, he's having all these meetings, talking to all these different people, but there was multiple TVs that were on that he could always glance up and pay attention to. So he's always obviously paying attention to the messaging that's going out to the public, whether it is as a candidate or whether it is as president. So because the guy knows media probably better than anybody. And Markwayne Mullin, when he's done interviews, not just on Fox, CNN, basically anywhere, he has really stood out as somebody who probably could be very, very good, not only doing the job, but the messaging, which Noem obviously had issues with. This is cut number 10 of Markwayne Mullin. Actually, this is during a Senate hearing, and the person that he is questioning had called him out on social media, basically challenging him to a fight. Mullin wasn't not going to let that go. I have a feeling he would have won this if it actually moved forward, if Bernie Sanders, of all people, didn't step in. But this is great stuff. Cut number 10, go.
Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. You want to run your mouth? We can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on. Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution?
No, sit down. Sit down. Okay. You're a United States Senator.
Well, United States Senator, sit down. Oh, that's great. I love the music, too, that I did not add in. It was just part of the clip that we got up on social media. But finally, was it the right move by Trump to fire Kristi Noem? There is a CNN poll saying that, yeah, it absolutely was. Cut number 9, go.
The American people wanted her fired. They wanted her removed. She was a political nightmare for the President of the United States. I mean, just take a look at this. Wanted Noem removed as DHS Secretary. Overall, last month, Quinnipiac University found the majority of Americans, 58%, wanted her to be adios amigos, goodbye, see you later. Among independents, you can see it right here, 62% of independents, we're talking more than 3 in 5 independents, wanted her kicked to the curb. So Donald Trump here making the politically popular move because Americans were simply put sick of Kristi Noem.
And there you go. So it took, let's see, about 12, 13 months before any cabinet member was fired by Trump. You look back on 2017, and that was a bloodbath in terms of all the cabinet members that did not survive the first couple of months, quite frankly, whether you're talking about the chief of staff and Reince Priebus. Remember who the Secretary of State was? This is a great trivia question. So I bet 58% of you out there are kind of thinking about this right now. Who was the Secretary of State when Trump took office in 2017? That's right. Rex Tillerson, the oil guy who had no experience in this regard. And that showed. I get what Trump was trying to do, get a businessman in a Secretary of State and let's get some deals done with these other countries and try to get the politics out of it. I get the point, but Tillerson wasn't the right guy for the job. The point is, tons of turnover. in the first year of Trump's first term. As far as cabinet members, the first to go, Kristi Noem, and it took until March of the following year after he took office for a second term for that to happen. But in this case, most people would agree, especially in the MAGA court, this was the right thing to do at the right time. And Markwayne Mullin is the right guy to succeed Kristi Noem. Anyway, this is Joe Concha. This is Concha at Night. Back with so much more in just a moment.
Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Why is the middle class shrinking? Why are people facing an affordability crisis while marginalized individuals called informals grow in numbers? Join me as I travel the world, speaking with people living in invisibility, the leaders working to solve it, and uncovering the hard truths shaping our economy and daily reality.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.